Good afternoon and welcome to the Breed Softball Park. I'm your commentator tonight, Sean Donahue from Lynn Educational Television. Up in the perch, we got our crew from Classical, Lyman and Gabe, coming out to bring you these smooth and steady shots. And a bit of a late start, the bus from Somerville on the delay, so we're really excited to bring you this. Some GBL softball here on this May afternoon. Classical coming in with a 7-6 record, and Somerville coming in with a 3-10 record. Last game for Somerville versus Everett, a 9-4 loss. They'll be hosting Waltham next game. Classical coming in off a loss to Swampscott, 8-4. Next game for them, they're traveling over to Melrose. Eliani Ramirez on the hump today, and we have backing her up. Beep, bop, bop. Let's get that for you. We got Mia Duncan behind the plate, leading it off for the Highlanders. Wearing number 26, Soul. Soul will be playing in the second base position today. We'll be working with first names off of the lineup from Somerville, and we'll have our last names for the lineup on Classical. That's how it was delivered, people, and that's how we'll commentate on it today. First time seeing Ramirez pitch. Foul ball along the first baseline. Ramirez gets the call from Duncan. Delivery. High and inside. Soul says no way. And excuse me if I do. Eliani Ramirez, one of 4 seniors that Classical will be saying goodbye to at the end of the year. Originally, senior night was scheduled for tonight. Ball 4. And Soul going to head down to first base on the trot. But their senior night postponed to a later game. Next up, Emily, wearing number 9 for the Highlanders. Emily playing in the shortstop position today, showing bunt. Ramirez throws it down a little low for the Blues' liking, ball 1. Duncan makes the call. Ramirez with the delivery, high and away, and that's going to give Soul the opportunity to head to second. And Soul head to second on the steal. We'll get a little wider shot for you, so we can see if Soul goes on to try to take third. That's good. Ramirez with the pitch, high and outside. 2-0 count here for Emily. No outs, 1 on in scoring position for the Highlanders. And 2-1 count for Ramirez. Duncan makes the call. Ramirez with the pitch. Ball 4. She'll take her base. So apparently the count was a full count. 2 walks in a row for Ramirez. Olivia, the next batter up for the Highlanders. Wearing number 6 and playing in the first base position today. 2 on, no outs. 1 in scoring position for the Highlanders. Ramirez's first pitch a little low. 1-0 count. Ramirez slings it down, strike 1, 1-1 for Olivia out of Somerville. Classical coming off of a tough loss to Swampscott. And if it brings you down memory lane like it does to me, an old NEC game, 1-2 count. Classical came out visiting Swampscott, ended up walking away with an 8-4 loss. And they'll be traveling to Melrose later on in the week. Short, choppy ground ball along the left, the third baseline. So it was the same Classical dugout. Eliani Ramirez with the delivery a little low. And 2-2 count here. Ramirez with the lineup. Strike three, first K of the day and first out of the inning. Olivia goes down looking. Next up to the plate for the Highlanders, we're in 11, Lily. Lily playing behind the plate today. Last time these teams played, Classical walked away with a 16-4 victory earlier on in the month of April, earlier on in the season in the month of April. Ramirez a little high for the Blues' liking, ball one. One and one count. Few change-ups on the infield for the Rams. Ramirez coming in at the pitching position. And Duncan coming off at third base. Play behind the plate. And filling in the void over on third today. We're at number 11, Elias. Usually we see Elias on the mound. Low and away. Ramirez with the windup. The shot a little low. Ball four. And Lily gonna take the trot down to first. Amari, the next one to step up to the dish for the Highlanders. We're number 8. Playing in the third base position. Look at that, loaded bases, one out right now for the Highlanders. Ramirez looking for a way out of this one. First pitch, a ball a little low. 1-0 count here for Amari. And Somerville with an opportunity to bat in a few runs. And Amari able to get out of that one or not so much. Amari gets hit with a beating. And that'll bring Sol home for the first run of the game. Amari taking the walk. All base runners advance. And Alexis, the pitcher, looking at the same field as Amari was when she stepped up to the plate. Line drive right back to Ramirez, trying for the tag up at first. And Alexis goes down swinging, but not in the way of strikeouts. 2 outs for Somerville, 1 run scored so far, loaded bases. Leilani, the batter up for the Highlanders now, playing in the left field position. And gets a piece of that one. Not the piece she wanted. Ramirez with the lineup and delivery. Foul back off the backstop. Duncan takes her time to collect that one. Ramirez with the delivery, a little low and outside. And usually on a nice clear day, we can hear the blue. I heard 2-2. The guy weed whacking has moved on to the south side of the Breed Middle School backyard. So audio's a little better. I heard 2-2 again. But I'm calling full count. And you know, anybody who's watching, usually I'm not on. But I was right about the strike count. Ramirez catches Leilani slipping and looking. Second strikeout of the game. Third out of the inning. And that'll leave it with Somerville 1, Lynn Classical 0. As we head into the bottom of the first, we'll be back after this break. Bottom of the first, Classical in a 1-run deficit. Emma Chevalier, the batter to lead us off here. And Chevalier playing in the second base position today. One at a time. Hey, what are you doing? Get down. If the camera shakes, it's Gabe Martin's fault. We're going to encourage him to stay off of the tower today.
There we go.
One at a time, Gabe. Leading it off on the mound, we're number 24, Alexis. Short ground ball over to the shortstop of Somerville. And fielding, solid. The throw to first, not so good. Chevalier says, they're going to give me second. I'll take third. Why not? And shortstop on that one out of Somerville. On the play. And Emily wearing number 9. Gonna hear that one from Coach in the dugout when she gets back. So Chevalier with a stand-up triple after the error. Mia Duncan, the catcher, up next. And Duncan looking at Chevalier saying, hey, thanks for the opportunity at an RBI. I'll do my best to bat you in. Pitch high. And Duncan says, no way, Jose. So again, we got first names for the Highlanders. Usually we like to stick to the last names. So those of you who are watching, why is this differentiation in existence? Well, it's how we got the lineups. Lily catching for the Highlanders, ball 4. And that'll give Duncan the right to take the trot over to first. Nevaeh F, the senior shortstop out of Classical, next up. High and away. And Duncan says, you know what, I'm going to go and try to steal second. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. And here we go. Duncan with the first steal of the day. So no outs, 2 in scoring position for the Rams. Alexis with the delivery. A little high for the Blues' liking ball. Pitch from Alexis, call strike. F steps out of the box to reevaluate her approach. The delivery from Alexis to Lily. And a line drive right at the second baseman. That's going to send Chevalier home. Duncan's going to advance to third. And that's going to get on with a single after the error from the second baseman out of Somerville. That would be Soul. Soul on the error. Classical take advantage. Brooke Braswell, the first baseman, up in the batter's box here. Takes a cut of that one. And trying for the double play. Gets it. So a line drive along the first baseline gives an opportunity for Olivia out of Somerville to make the catch. And she does. And has the bandwidth to shuffle back to first and catch Eth on the tag up. So Eth goes down at first on the tag up. And I think everybody in the park thought that that one was going to fall. Good heads up play by the first baseman out of Somerville. Olivia to make that 2 outs. 1 on in scoring position. And Elias, the batter up. Wearing number 11, playing in the third base position. Elias waits the delivery from Alexis. And just a bit inside. So Eth was thinking about going and stealing second. That's why she was halfway down the base path on her way to second. And a foul ball turned into an out. High fly ball right to the left fielder out of Somerville. Right under it, hitting the glove, lost it in the sun. And that's going to give Duncan the go-ahead to take home. Duncan will get herself a run. And same as Chevalier. And Elias gets on a second with a stand-up sack double. Corbett, the next batter up for the Rams. 2 outs. Line drive right over the shortstop's head into left field. Elias going to advance to third. And Corbett gets on. McKenna Duncan, the center fielder, up next for the Rams. So 2 outs. 2 on, 1 in scoring position. 2 runs scored already by the Rams. Gets a piece of that one. Shallow. Shortstop comes up for it and makes the tag, makes the throw to first for the final out of the inning. So McKenna Duncan goes down with a ground out. But not before Classical can add 2 runs to the tally as we head into the second. Classical 2, Somerville 1. We'll be back after this break. Top of the second, 2-1 score in favor of the Rams. Next up for the Highlanders, out of Somerville, we're at 41, Genesis. Genesis playing in the right field position today. If you're just joining us on the mound for the Rams, Eliani Ramirez, one of the seniors we'll be saying goodbye to at the end of the season. Mia Duncan behind the plate. 2 strikeouts on the day so far for Ramirez. A little slow start with a few walks. First time we've seen her on the hump today. This season, sorry. Foul ball. Foul back towards the backstop. And that one's going to send Mia Duncan packing. Go get it, kid. Get it back to pitches. Get it back to the pitcher, Eliani Ramirez. Solid TV media student. Knows origami well. I'm pretty sure that's the project you made in my class. And if I'm wrong, well, my bad. Genesis awaiting the pitch from Ramirez. Swing and a miss. Strikeout, 3rd of the day for Ramirez. First out of the inning. Lara, Warrington, playing in the center field position. Next up to bat, Ramirez gets set to deliver to the lefty. A little low and away. Somerville at a 3-10 record right now. Last game versus Everett. Everett handed them a 9-4 loss. Trying to find a redemption here against Classical as the last time these teams matched up. 16-4 was the final. Classical walking away with a W. Next game for Somerville is versus Waltham. Duncan barks out the orders to Ramirez. She obliges, gets ready to deliver to Laura. High. And inside for ball 4. And Laura will take the trot down to first. Back to the top of the lineup for Somerville. Soul, the next batter up. We're in 26. Playing in the second base position. A walk in her first at bat. And the sole run scorer right now for Somerville. No pun intended. Ramirez with the windup. The delivery. Soul gets a piece of that one. Hit right back to second base and gets the tag up for the final out of the inning. And boy, howdy, great play by the second baseman out of Classical, Chevalier, whose name I've said about 14 different ways. Good job. Wearing number 2. Makes the catch on the fly out. And has the bandwidth enough to get it over to Brooke Braswell at first for the double play. As we approach the bottom of the second, still 2-1 in favor of Classical. We'll be back after this break. Bottom of the second, 2-1 Classical over Somerville. Leading it off for the Rams, the pitcher Eliani Ramirez. On the mound today for Somerville, wearing number 24, Alexis. We're on a first-name basis with Somerville today. We go way back to about the beginning of the game. We got the lineup. And we're happy to bring you this one. Some GBL softball. And a redemption game for the Highlanders. Ramirez takes a strike on the last pitch. Lily, the catcher for Somerville, barks out the orders. The delivery from Alexis results in a ball. Too high for Ramirez's liking. She says, send me something else. Takes a swing and a miss. Ramirez goes down swinging. Her first strikeout of the day for Alexis. As Cahill, the next batter up for the Rams. Ava Cahill playing the DP position. Showing a solid lefty stance. Alexis, a little low and away. 1-0 count here for Ava Cahill. Cahill, another senior that we'll be saying goodbye to at the end of the season. Takes a shot at that one, hit right back to the pitcher. Alexis trying for first. Can't get it there. First baseman from Somerville. Couldn't field that one, a little low and away. And Cahill gets on with a stand-up double. So Alexis on the play, trying to get it over to the first baseman out of Somerville, wearing number 6, Olivia. And just a little out of Olivia's reach. Back to the top of the lineup, Emma Chevalier. Next batter up for the Rams. A triple in her first at-bat. Hoping to replicate that right now. First run scorer. First run scored for Classical is attributed to Chevalier. Chevy, as she's known in the dugout, awaits the pitch from Alexis, the delivery. Long shot in left field. That one's got a chance to get back to the fence and sends the outfield running. Chevalier around second, headed into third. Slide it in. And it looks like she's safe. Chevalier with 2 triples on the day. You can't ask for a better start than that. We'll add an RBI to the tally. Ava Cahill gets herself a run. And Classical now boasting a 3-1 lead over the Highlanders. Mia Duncan, the catcher, next batter up. And 1 out right now for the Rams. Chevalier in scoring position at third. Duncan in a walk in her first at bat. Went on to steal second. Hits a line drive. That one sneaks past the shortstop. Heading home is going to be Chevalier for her second run. And Duncan gets held up at first for a single. Emily, the shortstop on the play, just out of reach. And how about Emma Chevalier? 2 triples on the day, 2 at-bats. Making the move over to second base. Solid start for any softball player. Next up for the Rams, Nevaeh F. A single in her last at-bat and got caught sleeping, trying to steal second. And here comes the steal. Sliding in a second, called safe. Mia Duncan. So Duncan, a bit of a pattern we notice when she gets on the base. Sure, Lily's going to keep that in the back of her mind next time she sees Duncan get on. Alexis with the delivery, high ball there. Mia Duncan taking a liberal lead. Lily letting her know, I see you. The pitch high and away. That says, show me what else you got. pitch from Alexis. Right where she wants it. Lily able to keep it in front. And that'll hold Cahill at bay. I'm sorry, Duncan at bay. High and away. That's going to give the go-ahead on the pass ball. Duncan advances to third. And that heads to first. Brooke Braswell, the first baseman, up next. Fly out in her first at bat. Bit of a line drive to the first baseman. Braswell swings for that one, fouled off towards the Classical dugout. Ooh, and a beating. Brooke Braswell takes a beating. You can hear that one over here. Must have hit that big muscle. She's a whole muscle, Brooke Braswell, she is. So Braswell takes the beating, heads down to first. Loaded bases as Elias steps up to the plate. Elias with a double in her first at-bat. Swing and a miss, 0-1 count. One out right now for the Rams. Elias playing in the third base position today. Alexis with delivery. High fly ball. That one's going to stay in the infield. Third baseman comes over. All base runners say, we're going to stick right here on the bags. Good heads-up play by the third baseman out of Somerville wearing Ada Mari. And Braswell is the beaning. She got beaned. Elias goes down with a fly out. Corbett, the next batter up. 1-0 count here for Corbett. Single in her first at-bat. Corbett playing in the left field position today for the Rams. The pitch from Alexis. Line drive right over the first baseman's head. That's going to send one base runner home. Here comes number 2. Braswell, after the beating, rounds third. And boy, howdy. Corbett with a stand-up double and 3 RBIs on one at bat. So Duncan scores. F scores. And Braswell scores. McKenna Duncan, the next batter up. And looks like we're going to take an opportunity to have a quick discussion or maybe a water break. First time I've seen the entire infield and outfield to come off. And might have seen our third out without seeing it, if you know what I mean. We'll try to get an adjustment on what had happened, but McKenna, the last batter up, could be strikes. I was looking at my stat sheet. Well, Classical able to bat in a couple more, 2 runs in the first inning. And 5 in the second. 7-1, Classical over Somerville as we head into the third. We'll be back after this break. And we're back. Top of the third, Classical facing the 5-run rule. Didn't know it was a rule. That's a rule. So that's why we saw the out. So we'll lead off the third with McKenna Duncan in the batter's box. Eliani Ramirez in the circle today. And a high fly ball. That one's going to stay infield. And Mia Duncan bouncing up from behind the plate to force out one here in the third. And that one, Emily, the batter. Emily playing in the right field position today, wearing number 6 with a fly out first out of the inning. Olivia, the next batter up, foul. Hit back towards the backstop. And Olivia playing in the first base position. First name basis with the Highlanders. That's how much we get around the GBL. Eliani Ramirez on the mound today for the Rams. And Mia Duncan behind the plate. So if you were with us there at the bottom of the second, we're all wondering what happened, if I missed anything. 5-run rule. Classical scores 5 runs. You're out. See you later. Next guy up. Ground ball. Hit right in front of Duncan. Duncan going for the out at first. Brooke Braswell fields it cleanly. Out number 2. And Olivia goes down with a ground out in her second at bat. Next up for the Highlanders, we're in 11, Lily, the catcher. Lily with a walk in her first at bat. And last time she stepped up into the batter's box was in the first inning. Ramirez delivering with some steam. 0-1 count. Little low, 1-1. 2 outs, no on for the Highlanders. And Lily, the batter standing in the way of Eliani Ramirez and her effort to get out of this inning. Tighter strike zone. Gets a piece of that one, fouled off, up and over the Somerville dugout. So Aliani heads back to the mound. 2 strikes on the count, the windup and the delivery. Gets a piece of that one, hit high, and in the right field. Classical coming up for the play, a bit of a bobble. And that'll be the 3rd and final out. Good heads-up play by number 14 out of Lynn Classical. Or is that what I thought the number should be? Liliana Parker playing in the flex position today and sends Classical back into the dugout. We'll see what they can put together for the mashed potatoes and drive in a few more runs as we head into the bottom of the 3rd. Classical 7, Somerville 1. We'll be back after this break. Bottom of the 3rd, Classical with a 3-up, 3-down inning in the 3rd, top of the 3rd against Somerville. And looking at a 5-run rule in the 2nd. McKenna Duncan, the batter, up when it happened, so she's going to lead it off for us. A ground out in her first at-bat. On the mound for the Highlanders, wearing number 24, Alexis. 1 strikeout on the day. Backing her up behind the plate, Lily. If you're just joining us here in the bottom of the 3rd, Classical's leading 7-1 over the Highlanders. Last time these teams played, Classical walked away with a 16-4 victory. So Somerville trying to find redemption here. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching Lynn Educational Television on our YouTube page, please like, subscribe, smash that notification bell for all the up-to-date sports and events happening right here within the Lynn Public School Systems. I'm your commentator from Lynn Educational Television, Sean Donahue. We got our crew from Classical up in the perch, Gabe and Lyman, bringing you these smooth, steady shots. High fly ball, hitting a shallow left field. Somerville left fielder coming up, making the play for the first out of the inning against McKenna Duncan. And boy, she was smoking up there. She had the wheels on her to get into position to make the catch. And a great effort by Leilani, wearing 32, playing in the left field position. Next up for the Rams, Eliani Ramirez, playing in the pitching position and was fed a strikeout from Alexis. So trying to find her way onto the plate for the first time today, but that's what you get when you pitch 4 strikeouts in the first 3 innings. Ramirez awaits the pitch from Alexis. Strike 2. The pitch. Ramirez gets a piece of that one. 3rd baseman from Somerville trying over at first. And just a little out of reach. Ramirez is going to get on with a single. And not so bad where she could go on and take second. So Amari, the fielder, on the hit from Ramirez. Trying to find Olivia at first and just not going. So Classical to bring in a pinch runner. Let's see if we can get you a number on that one real quick. At first, and usually it's Parker. So first base is over to the left, Laman. You got half a second to get there. We got a number? All right, let's go back to the batter. First pitch, you didn't miss much. Little out. And now we got a number. Delicia Perez Vasquez. Solid hoops player, too. So Perez Vasquez coming in, a pinch run for Ramirez. And she's got some wheels on her. So Vasquez goes on a steal second. So one out, one on in scoring position for the Rams. Ava Cahill, the DP player, up at bat. A double in her first at bat. And Cahill went on to score a run after being batted in by Mia Duncan. High ball there. Going to give Cahill the go-ahead to take the trot down to first. So Cahill gets on with a walk. And we head to the top of the lineup. Emma Chevalier with 2 triples on the day. Better known as Chevy in the dugout. And the Chevsta. We'll refer to her here in center field. So 1 out, now 2 on. Delicia Perez Vasquez in scoring possession at second. And Lily, the catcher, reaches up to the sky to bail Alexis out of that high pitch. Chevalier waits the delivery a little bit low for her liking. Delicia Perez Vasquez going into third, safe, sliding in on the steal. 2 steals on the 2 steals for the pinch runner, Delicia Perez Vasquez. The attempt to try to throw her out at third gives Cahill the go-ahead to take second. So 1 out, 2 on now, both in scoring position. Chevalier will take the trot. So 2 triples and a walk for the Chevsta as Mia Duncan. The catcher steps up next to the batter's box. A walk in her first at bat, a single in her second. And Duncan, 3 stolen bases on the day so far. The delivery from Alexis with authority, strike call against Duncan. The pitch from Alexis, a little high for the Blues' liking, ball call. The pitch from Alexis, a little high. Lily doing a good job to reach up and keep that one from rolling towards the backstop. Lily, the catcher, makes the call. Alexis, the pitcher out of Somerville, makes the delivery. A walk call and a bit of a carousel happening here. So Delicia Perez Vasquez gets batted in with a run. Cahill advances to third. And Chevalier heads into second after the walk delivered to Mia Duncan. And Somerville going to get together to talk this one over. as Nevaeh at the powerhouse steps up to the dish. Eth with 2 singles on the day. Got caught trying to steal second, but not in the fashion that you usually would on her attempt. She hit a line drive along the first baseline, and the first baseman on her Somerville reached up into the sky. Olivia forced the out and caught Nevaeh Eth with too liberal of a lead. Grabbed her on the tag out for the 3rd out of the inning. So Eth trying to find redemption in the form of a few RBIs, loaded bases. You can't ask for anything better than that. We got a new pitcher on the mound. We'll see if we can get you a number as she's warming up. And during that time, make sure that we say thanks to you guys at home. So Alexis will come out, and I believe that we've got number 3 on the mound, Violet. So Violet comes in off of the bench to relieve Alexis. And looks like she's warm enough. And I'll ask if we can get Lyman to zoom in a little bit more. I think that's a 3 there. You see a 3 too, bud? You see a number 2. Okay. We're talking about the pitcher. I see a number 3.
Yeah, it looks like a 3.
Lyman set to graduate this year.
No, it's 2. Is it 2? Yes, on God. I believe Ramen. Look, you can see right there. All I see is hair. Come on, bro. That is not a...
It's a 3. There's not even a 2 on the roster. So it has to be a 3 by the process of elimination. That's enough of picking on Lyman. Back to the game. Nevaeh Eth, the senior shortstop, up at the plate. High ball there from Violet, the relieving pitcher. Forces Lily to make the adjustment, but all base runners sticking where they are. Eth awaits the pitch from Violet, a little low and inside. And we'll see if we can get a little wider of a shot. We got a few base runners on, so there could be some action happening. Great. A little less. You could probably go tighter than that. Here we go. Violet with the delivery to Lily. Reaching up to the sky, ball 4. And Eth going to take the trot. And Cahill going to get onto the board with a run. So 2 runs scored here in the bottom of the 3rd for the Rams. Brooke Braswell, the first baseman, up next. It's a line drive over to the 3rd baseman. Can't field it there. That's going to give the go-ahead for Mia Duncan to go to 3rd. Thinking about rounding 3rd. So Duncan going to get held up there. And Chevalier going to earn another run. 1 of 3 on the day for Chevy. Base is still loaded. Violet delivers a strike. Right away to Elias. So Braswell getting on base with their first hit of the day. Bats in an RBI. Another line drive to the 3rd baseman out of Somerville. Trying for first. Not going to get there. And rounding 3rd, we're in number 1, Brooke Braswell. Nevaeh Eth will score. Braswell hangs out at 3rd. And Elias gets on with her 2nd double of the day. And it looks like we're seeing another 5-run inning for the Rams. So leading it off in the bottom of the 4th will be Corbett. And as we head in to the 4th inning, Classical 12, Somerville 1. We'll be back after this break. Top of the 4th. Classical with a commanding lead against their GBL rival, the Somerville Highlanders. Up at bat for the Highlanders to lead it off here in the top of the fourth. Amari, wearing number 8, playing in the third base position. Ensure the third out of the inning. Was trying to, and just couldn't get it to first. Classical able to score their 5th run 2 innings in a row. Hit with a 5-run rule. Ramirez on the mound today. 4 strikeouts on the day. Looking to find number 5 here against Amari. And won't come to that conclusion as Amari will take the trot down to first after ball 4. Second walk of the day for Amari, the third baseman out of Somerville. Leilani, the next batter up for the Highlanders. First name basis with the Highlanders. And she catches a beaning. Sorry, Alexis. So Alexis gets beaned by Ramirez. Heads down to first. No outs, 2 on, 1 in scoring position for the Highlanders as Leilani steps up to the plate. And we'll pan right a little bit for you. I'm going to get the base runner, see if we've got any opportunities at a steal. We'll make sure we catch those for you. Low and inside for Ramirez. The pitch from Ramirez, strike call. Leilani, the batter for Somerville. Second at bat for the left fielder out of Somerville, hoping to find redemption against Ramirez. A strikeout in her first at bat. Takes a piece of that one, fouls it off towards the Somerville dugout. Well, full count here for Leilani. Pressure on both players. Leilani to get out of the strikeout slump, and Ramirez to earn her first out of the inning. Right where she wants it. And it's going to take the walk. So we got loaded bases here. Leilani sees ball 4. Heads down to first. We're in 41. Genesis, the next batter up for the Highlanders, playing in the right field position. Solid catch in the second to end the inning. Or a solid catch in the second for the second out of the inning. Genesis with a strikeout in her first at bat, hoping to find some redemption here against Ramirez. Strike call there for Ramirez. So no outs, loaded bases for the Highlanders, and Genesis, the next batter in Ramirez's way, fouled back. Ramirez with the pitch. Gets a piece of that one, fouls it off along the backstop. Two strikes for Genesis. Ramirez looking towards her 5th strikeout of the game. The pitch from Ramirez, a little low. Ball call. Duncan gives the signal. Ramirez agrees the delivery. Swing. And a miss, strike 3. And Genesis goes down swinging again. Ramirez with 5 Ks on the day. As Laura, the center fielder, steps up. Wearing number 10 for the Highlanders, so 1 out, loaded bases for Laura. Ramirez's first pitch called strike. Laura looking at an 0-1 count. Ramirez gets the signal. Foul ball along the first base line. That one will roll over to the Somerville dugout. Ramirez with the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Strike 3. Out 2. Laura goes down swinging. 6 strikeouts on the day for Ramirez. Back to the top of the Somerville lineup. Soul, the next batter up. So now 2 outs, loaded bases for the Highlanders. Soul playing in the second base position today. Her third at bat. A fly out in her last, a walk in her first. High ball there from Ramirez. Ramirez gets the call from Duncan. Happy to take it. Line drive. That one's going to send one base runner in. Somerville with an opportunity for another one. A tag-out opportunity at home plate. Duncan can't field it cleanly. And that's going to give the go-ahead for Soul to take second. She'll earn 2 RBIs on that one. And head over to third is Leilani. So Mari and Alexis will score the second and third run for the Somerville Highlanders. Now 12-3. So 2 outs, 2 on, both in scoring position. Emily, the shortstop, next batter up for the Highlanders. Ramirez delivers one with some steam and drops right before the plate. Swing and a miss for Emily. Emily with a walk in her first at-bat, a fly out in her second. Trying to make her way on base with her first hit of the day. Ramirez hits it a little low. And Emily congratulated on her ability to see balls and strikes. Ramirez, another low ball. Two outs, 2 on. Classical coming into this one with an 11-run lead before giving up 2 runs to the Highlanders after the hit from Soul. And another walk added to the tally for Ramirez. So back to loaded bases. Emily heads down to first for the trot. And Olivia, the next one to step it up for the Highlanders. Olivia playing in the first base position today. And catches herself a beating. So another run scores. So Leilani will cross home plate for the first time today. 3-run inning for the Highlanders so far. Lily, the next batter up for Somerville. First pitch from Ramirez, strike. So Olivia, the first baseman, catches a shot, heads down to first, and earns it. Swing and a miss. Strike call for Ramirez. Ball call. And Ramirez just looking for a way out of this one at this point. Ramirez with the delivery. A little low for the Blues' liking. Ball call. The pitch, the Lilly line drive, sneaks past the first and second baseman. That's going to send one runner home for Somerville, two runners home for Somerville. Slide in into home plate, called safe on the attempt to go for the cutoff to Mia Duncan. So Lilly gets on with her first hit of the day. And that'll be 5 in the inning for Somerville. So as we head into the bottom of the 4th, Classical 12, Somerville 6. We'll be back after this break. Bottom of the 5th, Somerville digging their way back into this one. Sorry, bottom of the 4th. Violet, the relieving pitcher for Alexis, coming in last inning. Wearing number 3. And I believe we got Corbett up, or it could be Duncan. The Classical with the 5-run rule getting out of the 3rd inning. The pitch for Violet called strike. Violet with the windup, the delivery fouled off along the Somerville dugout. Violet with the windup and delivery a little high. And it is Corbett. Corbett in the box. Awaiting the pitch from Violet. A little high. And that one sends Lilly back to retrieve the ball. Corbett awaits the delivery in the batter's box. The pitch from Violet, swing and a miss. And Corbett goes down swinging. First strikeout of the day for Violet. And first of the day for Corbett. A single on her first at bat, a double on her second. McKenna Duncan, the center fielder, coming up next. And struggling to get on base. Ground out in her first at bat, a fly out in her last. Third at bat of the day for McKenna Duncan. And right as she stepped up to the plate in the second inning, Classical enabled the 5-run rule, which brought us into the top of the 3rd. Lilly delivers. Duncan watches it sail over Lilly's head. McKenna Duncan awaits the pitch. Strike call, watches that one sail past. And Violet catches Duncan looking. It's a line drive over the second baseman's head. The center fielder trying to get there, and Duncan sees the slip up. Heads in a second for a stand-up double. And number 26, Soul, the center fielder, just couldn't get a handle on it. Had to be backed up by the right fielder out of Somerville, wearing number 41, Genesis, throwing the cutoff to second base. So McKenna Duncan gets on base for the first time today with a double. And will go on to steal third for good measure. Eliani Ramirez, the pitcher, up. At bat for the third time today, a strikeout in her first at bat against Alexis, and a single in her second at bat in the third against Violet. And a wild pitch gives the go-ahead for McKenna Duncan to steal home. And Classical adds another one to the tally. McKenna Duncan gets on base and off base even faster. Her first run of the day scored. So one run inning so far here for the Rams. One out. As Eliani Ramirez steps up to the plate. Violet gets the call from Lily. And the ball called there for Ramirez. Violet gets the call from Lily. The delivery. Strike call there. A little high for Ramirez's liking, but she's going to need to learn how to take a swing at those ones to stay alive. The pitch from Violet. Low and inside. Ball 4. And Ramirez will take her base. Second single of the day. And we'll see who they bring on to pinch run for the Classical pitcher after the hit. Meanwhile, Ava Cahill, the next batter up. And it looks like they're going to send out Delisha Perez Vasquez again. Did a bang-up job as a pinch runner in the third, stealing second and third, and even got home on a run. Ava Cahill, next one up. Delisha Perez Vasquez going in a second, stealing it with ease. And 3 stolen bases on the day. That's the second time she took second. Violet with the windup. Delivering to Cahill, a little low and outside. Ava Cahill awaits patiently in the batter's box. The delivery just a bit outside. Ball call. The pitch from Violet, swing and a miss. And Cahill giving it her all. Just way too far under it. Straight call there for Cahill. Cahill playing in the DP position throughout the day today. Ball 4. Going to send her on the trot. Second walk of the day for Cahill. A double in her first at-bat. Earned her 2 RBIs. So 1 out. Emma Chevalier step up to the batter's box for the 4th time today. A walk in her last, 2 triples in her first 2. Earned herself 3 RBIs on, 3 runs on the day and 1 RBI. One out, 2 on. Delisha Perez Vasquez in scoring position at second. High ball there. Forces Chevalier to step off. The Chevster steps up into the box. Awaits the pitch from Violet. Lily behind the plate barks out the orders. The delivery low. Ball call. Chevalier trying to get 3 triples on the day so after this at bat. High ball, ball 4. She won't get the chance. Second walk of the day for Chevy. And that gives Mia Duncan the right to jump into the batter's box with loaded bases. Fourth at bat of the day for Mia Duncan. the catcher. A walk in her first, a single in her second, and a walk in her last. 3 stolen bases so far for the catcher. We're in number 4. So got three runs as a result. Ground ball hit over to the second baseman for an easy second out. Delisha Perez Vasquez heads from third in a home for her second run. So the sacrifice ground ball from Mia Duncan will earn her an RBI and put another one onto the board for Classical. Nevaeh at the batter up. High fly ball heading into center field. Soul gets under it for the third out, and F goes down with a fly out with 2 base runners in scoring position. Braswell will be the next batter up to lead it off for the Rams as we head into the 5th. Classical with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 runs on the inning, on the day. We'll do a quick adjustment. We'll get you the correct score once we come back. We'll be back after this break. Top of the 5th, we're back. And we got the actual score for you. Classical with 2 runs in the 4th. 14-6 right now in favor of the Rams. Next batter up, Amari. Amari wearing 8, playing in the third base position today. Her third at bat of the day. Delivered 2 walks from Ramirez. The pitch from Ramirez is a little low. And as the sun sets here on us at the Breed Softball Park, the temperatures will drop. Eliani Ramirez gets the call from Duncan. The delivery way inside. And that one forces Amari to jump around and avoid it. Amari trying to get on with her first hit of the day. 2 walks delivered by Ramirez. 6 strikeouts on the day for Eliani Ramirez on the mound. And serves up the third walk to Amari. She'll gladly take the trot. Next batter up for the Highlanders, wearing 24, Alexis. Starting off in the pitching position. And it looks like Coach Morin's going to bring in Brooke Braswell to relieve Ramirez. And that'll make Ramirez our second baseman or first baseman. So while Brooke Braswell warms up, we want to say thanks to those who are joining us here on Lynn Educational Television. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, smash that notification bell for all the up-to-date sports and events happening within the Lynn Public Schools District. I'm your commentator tonight from Lynn Educational Television, Sean Donahue. We got our crew from Classical up in the perch. Lyman and Gabe coming out to bring you these smooth and steady shots on the day. Thanks to our Comcast and Verizon subscribers. Without you, we wouldn't be able to offer a television media curriculum to our student body in the Lynn Public Schools. Every middle school and high school have a studio, and students can learn about the industry of television media and production from 6th grade all the way through their senior year. So thank you to our Comcast and Verizon subscribers. And boy howdy, do we got a good one for you today. Somerville coming into this one after losing a Classical in the first matchup of the season, 16-4. And it started out quick for the Rams. Somerville coming into the 5th after a 5-run inning in the 4th, trying to dig their way back into this one. Somerville with a record of 3-10. And Classical with a record of 16-4. Both teams trying to get in there. Brooke Braswell's first pitch causes Alexis to squeeze as she's beamed for the second time today. So Amari advances to second. And Leilani, the next batter up for the Highlanders. The pitch from Braswell. Strike call. So Brooke Braswell coming in to relieve Ramirez. Ramirez going to second. And ball call, 1-1 call. And going from second to first is Emma Chevalier. Pretty versatile player. High ball there from Braswell. Forces Duncan to try to retrieve it. Both base runners advance from first to second and from second to third. Leilani takes a swing of that one, fouled off along the first base line. So 2 strikes for Leilani. The Highlander wearing 32, playing in the left field position. Braswell with the pitch, strike call. First strikeout of the day for Braswell. So 1 out, 2 on, both in scoring positions. After Leilani goes down with a strikeout. Genesis, the next player up. And Genesis struggling to get on base. Ramirez serving up 2 strikeouts in her first 2 at-bats. Genesis trying to find her way on to first for the first time today. Duncan makes the call. Braswell agrees and delivers a strike. The delivery from Braswell, swing and a miss, strike call. 2 strikes for Genesis. Patient to get back into the box. Strike 3, and Genesis goes down looking. Out number 2 for the Highlanders here in the top of the 5th. Laura, the next batter up. A walk in her first at bat. Got caught with a liberal lead. And line drive hit to the first baseman, Brooke Braswell. Gives her the opportunity for the double play, and they get her on the tag up. Braswell throwing another beaning out there. And Braswell coming in late in the game to relieve Ramirez. Laura going to head down to first with her first beaning of the day. And Sol, the next batter up, the center fielder. Sol a double in her last at-bat, earned herself 2 RBIs, and stayed on base long enough to earn herself her second run. Line drive, hit over to Neve at the shortstop. A throw out to Chevalier for out number 3. So Sol goes down with a ground out. Good heads-up play by the Classical infield to get out of that one. And Classical holds Somerville to another scoreless inning as we head into the bottom of the 5th. Classical with 14, Somerville with 6. We'll be back after this break. Bottom of the 5th. Brooke Braswell to lead it off for the Rams here. Classical boasting a 14-6 lead here over Somerville. Violet, the pitcher for the Highlanders, coming in to relieve Alexis. 1 strikeout on the day so far. Braswell getting on a base in her last at-bat with a single. Was batted in later on, earned herself her first run. And most recently in the last inning, coming in to relieve Eliani Ramirez. So Braswell moving from the first base position over into the pitching position. Emma Chevalier heading from second to first, and Ramirez filling the void at second. Ground ball to the third baseman out of Somerville, trying for the out, can't field it cleanly. And a little low on the steam on the delivery to first base. Braswell gets on with her second single of the day. Elias, the next batter up. 4th at-bat of the day. 2 doubles, 1 flyout, and 1 RBI. Swing and a miss. Braswell heading into second, sliding in, safe call. Braswell, first stolen base of the day. Got caught with a beaning in the second inning. And now digging. Try to even out second base and get it flush with the earth. Back to Elias up at the plate. High and away. Ball call. Violet gets the call from Lily. The pitch. And that one forces Elias to jump out of the way and gives an invitation to Braswell to take third. So no outs, one in scoring position for the Rams. Elias, the batter, up at the dish. The pitch from Violet. Just a little high. Not so out of reach for Lily, where Brooke Braswell could steal home. So she'll hang out at third after the stolen base. Violet with the windup and the delivery, getting a piece of that one, and just too much under it as Elias fouls that one back over the backstop. Elias awaits the pitch in the batter's box with patience. The delivery from Violet. Ball 4. And Elias takes the trot for the first time today. So no outs, 2 on. Braswell in scoring position at third after 2 stolen bases. Corbett, the next batter up. Corbett playing in the left field position today. And this is the third at-bat of the day for Corbett. Gets a piece of that one. Fly ball hit right over the shortstop's head. Braswell gonna jog on in a home. And it looks like Medrano is pinch running. Or did Medrano get the hit? And Corbett gets on with a single. Braswell scores. Second run of the day for Brooke Braswell. And Corbett, I believe, was the batter. McKenna Duncan catches a beaning. And Duncan going to head over to first. Now loaded bases. Medrano in scoring position at third. And Elias in scoring position at second. Sorry, Corbett Corbett at second base. Ramirez, the batter. And Violet losing a little bit of control. I think that's Delisha Perez Vasquez pinching for Ramirez. So she takes the beating. And Ava Cahill should be the next batter up. So loaded bases, Medrano is going to score. So second run scored here in the fifth for the Rams. Last time these teams matched up, 16-4 victory for Classical. Ava Cahill in her fourth at bat of the day. 2 walks served in her last 2 and a double in her first. Cahill at the DP position today awaits the pitch from Violet. The delivery. Strike call. 2-2 count here for Cahill on her fourth at bat of the day. Second GBL matchup between these two teams. High ball there forces Lily to reach up into the sky and pull that one down. That'll hold all base runners at bay. Violet gets the call from Lily, the windup and delivery. Strike 3. And Cahill goes down looking. So first out of the inning for the Rams, the Chevalier steps up to the plate once again. And Coach Morin making the job a little tougher here from calling the game in center field. He's trying to get all of his players some burn, so I apologize to any Rams who I may be not getting in, or rather announced. Come on down to the TV studio and put me on blast. Make sure I'm not in the middle of teaching class. So loaded bases. Classical back to the top of the lineup. Should be Chevalier up at bat. See if we can get you a number on the batter. The pitch from Violet a little low. And let's see, you can zoom in real quick, Laman. Got a quick adjustment. As much as you can. I'm seeing 9. The batter is who we're trying to identify. Foul ball along the third baseline.
19.
And we got number 19. And I believe that's going to be Beauchamp. She's the only batter who didn't have a number on the lineup. So first at bat of the day for Beauchamp. Pinch hitting for Chevalier. And she takes the walk. So Beauchamp gets on. And Classical starting to see the carousel as another base runner scores. So 3-run inning here for the Rams. Loaded bases. And only 1 out. Mia Duncan should be the next batter, but Lyman and I are going to be smart and zoom into the batter with the helmet. Get your number on it right away. That's number 4, who is Mia Duncan. So Mia Duncan is up. Fourth at bat of the day for Duncan. Duncan playing in the catcher's position. 3 stolen bases on the day. A ground out in her last at bat. A walk in her first. A single in her second. And a walk in her third. 3 runs scored by Duncan today. 1 RBI. And catching a solid game. And another walk. This is going to send another Ram across the dish. So Duncan gets on. And F, the next batter up. And I think that's going to be the 12-run rule initiated. So Classical able to score 4 more here in the 5th, which brings them to a total of 18. My math teachers are all laughing at me. And Somerville with 6. So at the end of 5, Classical scores 4 more to bring the deficit to 12. And boy, howdy, what a matchup we've had today. A bit of a run for the Somerville Highlanders in the 4th. My guys were doing all the math up in the perch to see what we would need to do to get the mercy rule. More math in this game than they have all year, their senior year. Classical going to advance to an 8-6 record, and they got Melrose. Later on, they'll be traveling up north to play against those guys. Somerville going to fall to a 3-11 record. And they got Waltham at home next. This has been a great game. I'm happy to have been able to call some GBL softball. Want to say thanks to our viewers. Make sure you like, subscribe, smash that notification bell if you're watching on our YouTube channel. Thanks to our Comcast and Verizon subscribers. You know why you're so special. And we got to say thanks to our crew. Up at the perch, Gabe and Lyman, bringing you these smooth and steady shots from the field here at Breed. I'm Sean Donahue of Lynn Educational Television, wishing you all the best.